Okay, welcome to the last programming exam solution tutorial for the 2011 Comp 1 exam. This is for the cricket game program that you should all be pretty familiar with by now. I wasn't going to do this because I sort of run out of time, but a few people have asked me for it. So even though the exam is tomorrow, I hope you've all remembered that, we're going to have a quick look at the linear search. This is a really simple algorithm. Could easily come up. You should be well familiar with it. If you're not, do a search on YouTube. There are tons of tutorials. In fact, the description in the Bond and Langfield book's not bad either. But the basic gist is you input a criteria, you loop through the array, and you use a selection to see if your inputted value equals the item on the array, the element of the array. If it does, you output the position. We're not going to bother stopping this one if you find something, because you could have a player with more than one entry. So let's get straight to the code. Clearly I need to create a top score sub, so I've got it search top score, and I obviously need to pass the parameter, so doing it by val, and don't forget to put the little parentheses in there because you want it to be an array, and just going to create a couple of variables. So one identifier called count, that's the identifier we've used for all of the steppers, and then name search, which is what we're going to input it in. That's going to be our inputted value. So let's get straight down to that, and let's ask the user to enter the name they wish to search for. This is going to be case sensitive, so we need to be aware of that. And we're going to say that name search equals console.readrun, so we're assigning that to the variable name search. For some reason my VB is not doing the little case sensitive changing, but it won't make a difference, it'll still work. And now we need to set up a loop. Obviously we're only going to search the size of the array, which at the moment is 4, but it could be set to anything for max size. I fully expect you having to change max size to 5 being one of the things you have to do tomorrow, but we'll see. And we now need to do an if statement, and this is the crux of the linear search. For each element of the array, ask, does that current element equal your search string? Oops. Okay, so we've got our little if statement, and now basically all we're going to do is we're just going to display some details about that element that's been found. So console.writeLine, and I'm just going to have a whopping great concatenated string here. I'm not going to try and be posh and do anything. Obviously I want to display the name, and I'm going to say what position it's in. To be honest with you, the position in this array is kind of irrelevant, but who cares? And obviously the position is being held by count at the moment, so it'll either be 1, 2, 3 or 4, and I'm going to say and it's scored, obviously the field from that record, so top scores count.score, and I've just put these little strings in. Notice the spaces, so that's so it's formatted properly. So Joe is in position 1 in the table and scored 150 runs. That's how it will display later on. Now obviously we need to say if there isn't anyone in there, we need to display that, so else there's no one of that name in the top scores array. And it's that simple. The linear search is really simple. Loop through, have a little search criteria, an if statement, your action if it is found, which is normally display some data, and then a little thing saying, oh, no one's been found, and put it there. Obviously this is going to be called from a menu item, and in fact I've cheekily, before I've first started, put all the elements into the menu item. So I forgot to say search here. Search top scores there, and of course all of these 4s had to be turned to 5s. So crucially there, and in the main menu there's another 5 and another 5, and I had to add a 5th case statement. Fully expect to have to add a 5th item to your menu tomorrow. Let's do a quick test just to make sure. Okay, just pause that for a second while I created this. So I've set up a game, Joe Fred, I've loaded top scores, and then I've displayed the top scores as well. So you can see, I've just double checked that they've actually been loaded. Right, let's search it. 5, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a search that should be unsuccessful. So Fred doesn't currently have a top score in there. Look, it's only Richie, Sachi and Brian and Monty. So that shouldn't work. Oh, but why is that done 4 times? Okay, that's not very good. I should have put that as a little boolean and then called it after outside the loop. But never mind, it's not the end of the world. It needs to be tidied up a little bit there. So let's do that again, and let's look at Monty. And I'm going to type Monty with a capital, so I'm expecting this to be found. So, oh yeah, Monty is in position 4 of the table and scored 1 runs. So, that's annoying, that little sort of thing there. Let's have a quick look to see what we need to do just to correct that. Okay, I've been a bit of an idiot. I just boshed this out, to be honest with you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have if not found equals max size, then I'm going to put that here. Now hopefully you've already spotted where I'm going with this. I'm going to create a new identifier, not found, a new variable, and I'm going to have not found equals not found plus 1. There's 2 or 3 ways you could do this, but to be honest with you, I think that the one that jumps out at me is that because I know I've got this finite size, if this else is called every single time, then not found will equal count. Sorry, not really count. Will equal max size because it's 1, 2, 3, 4. So if not found equals max size, then there's no one of that name. Right, let's have another go at testing this. Okay, I've set it up as always, and I've actually gone all the way for the search. So let's try and search for Joe. Oh, there's no one of that name. Lovely. And let's do another search, and let's go for Monty again. Oh no, let's go for another one. Let's go for Ricky. Ricky. I've deliberately done it lowercase. Let's just double check it's not going to find it. There's no one of that name in the top scores, just once. Brilliant. Right, let's try a 5 again. Bang. And who should we search for? Let's search for Brian. But lovely. So I've put Brian in there, and when I go return, Brian is in position 3 in the table and scored 2 runs. Brilliant. That actually works. That makes me very happy. So I hope you've enjoyed these pests and they've not sent you to sleep too badly. Just to recap that last little thing that we've done, instead of putting there's no one of that name there, because that gets checked every single time it looks at an element of the array, we simply stepped up a value. If that is not found every single time, then there must be nobody in the array. There's the search top scores algorithm, and that's the last pest. Good luck in the exam tomorrow, and I hope you found the pest useful. If you have, please give me some comments back on the YouTube channel, because I'd be really interested to know if these have been useful to everyone. Right, thanks, bye bye.